Challenges in managing a company which is Apple Incorporated.
Today, I will be presenting about Apple Incorporated, one of the world-leading technology companies. Apple Inc. was founded on April 1st, 1976 in Los Angeles, California by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne. The company was originally known as Apple Computer, began by designing and selling personal computers like Apple I and Apple II, and introduced the Macintosh, a computer with a user-friendly graphical interface (GUI). However, during the 1990s, Apple began to lose its direction and faced heavy competition from Microsoft. The company was struggling and nearly went bankrupt. The company made a comeback with Steve Jobs' return, bringing new direction and product idea. What does Apple offer today? Apple has expanded its product line to include iPod, iPhone, iPad, and Mac, AirPods, Apple Watch, iCloud, Apple Music, Apple Pay, and Apple TV+. Apple is now a global leader in technology with a market value over USD 2.5 trillion and has over 522 retail stores in 25 countries. It competes with major tech companies like Samsung, Google, and Amazon. Let's now take a look at the vision and mission of Apple Inc. Vision Apple is to leave the world better than we found it, and to create powerful tools and empower others to do the same. The mission, Apple is committed to bring the best user experience for the customer through innovative hardware, software, and services. Let's take a look at the organizational chart of Apple Inc. Apple Inc. is one of the globally known technology companies for its product, design, and performance. Apple has systematic organizational structure to ensure the operations are efficient. Every single individual that works in Apple has contributed to the company in different ways, carrying a specialized role with the specific duties.
I will present the first global challenge faced by Apple, which is its production weakness dependence on China. Apple heavily relies on China for assembling most of its products. In fact, the majority of their products are put together in China factories. This creates a very high dependence on one country for almost all its production. Our full dependence exposes Apple to many types of risks, such as political, economic, and public health risks. For example, if there are political tensions between the US and China, such as trade wars or policy changes, Apple's supply chain could be seriously disrupted. All of this leads to higher costs, slower product release, and weaker control over their production timeline. In order to deal with this challenge, Apple has taken some initiatives. One major step is expanding manufacturing to India and Vietnam. Although this move brings short-term cost increase, like training new workers and building facilities, it is expected to bring more long-term stability. Aside from that, the launch of the Supplier Employee Development Fund, or SEDF. This fund is used to train local talent and promote ethical labor practices. Apple not only supports responsible production but also builds a stronger and more skilled workforce outside of China. In the long run, SEDF helped Apple reduce over-reliance on China by developing capabilities in their regions. Although Apple's dependence on China is a serious global challenge, but the company is actively taking steps to reduce the risk and its global production network.
The second global challenge Apple faces is the Apple Watch ban, which impacts both sales and brand reputation. In 2024, Apple was blocked from importing the Apple Watch Series and Ultra 2 into the US. This happened due to a patent dispute with medical company Masimo, which claimed Apple pulse oximeter feature infringed their patent. The International Trade Commission ITC imposed an import ban, although Apple appealed and delayed it for a short time. A US federal court reinstated the ban in early 2024. In response, Apple acted quickly. They filed another appeal with the US Court of Appeal and paused sale, stopping online purchase in 21 December and in-store sale by 24 December 2023. To solve the issue, Apple revised the device and submit it to US Customs by January 2024. The update model was approved and sale resumed. This case shows how legal dispute, especially over patent, can deeply affect global tech companies like Apple, not just financial but also in how they manage product innovation and market access. A major global challenge for Apple Incorporated is the growing pressure from foreign law and data privacy regulation revealing flaws in its development strategies. In several countries, new laws have restricted Apple operation, especially regarding data privacy. This issue led to a $2 billion fine for monopolistic practices and forced the company to cancel its Apple Car project in 2024. To address this, Apple should closely monitor foreign law before launching products to avoid legal, financial, and reputation risks. It must also strengthen its data privacy framework by increasing transparency and complying with regulation like the GDPR. Additionally, Apple should conduct strong feasibility and legal review before investing in major projects. The failure of the Apple Car highlights the need for better planning. Lastly, Apple should diversify its marketing channels in compliance with local law as suggested by Chen to reduce sale risk and improve global operation. In conclusion, while legal and privacy challenges are significant, Apple can manage them with proactive and strategic measures.
Today, I will discuss a challenge faced by Apple companies, which is Apple sued by shareholder for allegedly overstating AI progress. Apple Incorporated has a significant challenges lately with its slow progress in developing artificial intelligence (AI), particularly with its virtual assistant Siri. In fact, this admission led to a proposed shareholder lawsuit against Apple for securities fraud, arguing that the company has misinterpreted the readiness for its AI technology. As a result, Apple's stock price fell by around 25%, which is roughly $900 billion in market capitalization. The event shook investor faith and raised concern about Apple's ability to compete, particularly as competitors like Google and Samsung were making rapid progress in the AI field. Changes or implementation taken by Apple. Apple made several changes in response to the criticism. It publicly reset expectations by announcing a delay, reorganized its leadership by putting a new executive team in charge of a series development. Furthermore, adopted a more cautious and open way of communicating. Then, Apple has now worked on improving its AI platform to ensure its function well before the launch. This showed that the company changed its strategy from aggressive marketing to a more methodical and quality-focused approach. The conclusion: this episode emphasized the importance of aligning product development and investor communications.
First challenge that Apple faced was lack of supply chain production due to its heavy reliance on China. It exposes the company to risks such as political conflicts and production delays. To overcome this, Apple should diversify its supply chain by expanding manufacturing to stable regions like India and Vietnam. This means the company should establish backup suppliers and flexible logistics systems to ensure continuity and long-term sustainability. In the second challenge, Apple faced a ban on its latest Apple Watch models in 2024 due to a patent dispute leading to an international legal conflict. To address this, Apple should strengthen its internal intellectual property compliance to ensure future products undergo true patent analysis and consider building partnerships or licensing agreements with key medical technology patent holders. For the third challenge, Apple faced major legal challenges, including data privacy issues and a large fine. To address this, the company should conduct thorough legal assessments to ensure compliance with local laws and enhance its data privacy framework by improving transparency and aligning with international standards like the General Data Protection Regulation. Lastly, in the fourth challenge, Apple was sued by shareholders over delayed AI development which impacted its stock price. To overcome this issue, Apple should align product development with realistic timelines and provide transparent, regular updates to investors to rebuild trust and reduce legal risks. Overall, Apple company faces significant operational, legal, and technological challenges that demand strategic improvements. However, to regain trust and competitiveness, Apple focus on long-term, quality-driven development, invest in top AI talent, and maintain clear, achievable product strategies. So, they continue to prioritize quality development models by investing in top AI talent against industry leaders like Google and Samsung.